Sephora's Spring Savings event is coming in a blink of an eye. It's going to start this coming April 9th. I will be leaving all the details of the sale on the description box below, as well as all the products that I will be talking about today. I promised to you guys that I was going to bring you all my recommendations, and here I am. I literally spent 3 hours just gathering products that I know that I have tried for some of them for years, and those that are new that they truly shine because of their performance. So anyhow, my friends, before we step into this recommendations video, part 1, yes, you heard it right, part 1. This is gonna be all about makeup, but then I'm gonna do a separate video, part 2, with everything that has to do with tools, skincare, hair care, I mean, all the jazz. So go ahead, grab a glass of water, a glass of wine, a coffee, whatever you want, and let's start this video. But before we do so, look under this screen, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. And now let's start with my recommendations. As many of we know by now, Sephora has 3 different tiers to shop their savings event. So first it starts with Rouge members. They get 20% off, and the sale starts April 9th all the way through April 19th is when everything ends for everybody. Those who are VIB, they receive 15% off, and the sale for them starts on April 13th. And then for insiders, they get 10% off, and the sale starts on April 15th. Again, the sale ends on April 19th. And the code that you need to use at checkout, I think is the cutest, is OMGSPRING. Yes, okay friends, let's go first with primer. The TATCHA, the Silk Canvas, and this is the liquid version. I am a person, okay, if you're new here and over 40 years old, I do have fine lines, I do have texture, I do have enlarged pores. So my makeup, I want for my makeup to look non-caking, to be as lightweight as possible. And even when I feel that I have to use a pore minimizing primer or a primer that will even out my texture, I like something lightweight, and this does it for me. It's super lightweight. It doesn't feel like you have a lot of dimethicons, you know, your skin, and that everything will start building up. So this one is something that you guys know I use it all the time. Pretty much I will say 90% of the time you will find it on my description box when I'm reviewing different products and whatnot. Okay, now let's go into foundations, and there are 2 of the newest foundations that really have gotten my attention and I really enjoy. One of them is the Givenchy Prince Libre Skincare Glow. I do have, by the way, I will say for everything I have a review on, so if you want to see details, I mean, you're welcome to explore on my channel. Also, I do have a playlist with Sephora recommendations, I mean favorites. I mean, the list is long. Anyhow, this one is a very lightweight foundation. It's almost that type of foundation that is kind of imperceptible on the skin. It does have a light to medium coverage. It does wear beautifully throughout the day, and it has a beautiful radiance. It's not super glowy or super dewy. Now, another foundation that really so beautiful is the new LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. This foundation is a serum foundation, so again, it's very lightweight, but it's non-oily. It makes your skin look radiant, it's thin, it lasts a long time, it wears beautifully, it doesn't emphasize texture. I mean, and all of the foundations that I will be talking about today, they are on the same boat, you know. That's the way that I like it. Light to medium coverage with a little bit of radiance, non-heavy. That's my perfect foundation. Now going into other foundations that they are more classic, I mean, unfortunately, I don't know, I mean, like, I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that by the time the sale starts, Sephora will have this new Dior Forever Natural Nude Foundation. If it's available at Sephora, I will make sure to link it, because this is beautiful and this is new also. I mean, like, stunning foundation. But Dior does amazing foundations. So if you're looking for a foundation from Dior, I will suggest the Airflash Spray Foundation Airbrush Radiance. Again, the radiance finish. This foundation lasts for a long time. Now, if you are a bride and you are going to get married this year, you want a foundation that will last you all day long, this is a foundation for you. It will look beautiful. It's a foundation that I'm wearing right now. And then another one from Dior is the Forever Skin Glow foundation. Also the regular one, the one that doesn't have, I mean, it doesn't say that it's matte, but it's actually a natural foundation. That is gorgeous too. I think that during the Sephora sale, your best investment goes to actually getting products that are true and true amazing, but also those that you have been holding off because they are a splurge, and getting a discount feels good. And those are something like, for example, the La Mer, the Soft Fluid Longwear foundation. You have heard me talking about this one right here. And I'm an event planner. I also have a catering business, and when I go to work long days outside under the sun since early morning, more than 12 hours, this is the one that I use. Yes, and it looks impressively beautiful throughout the entire day. Another beautiful foundation too, a classic one but a good one, the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This one right here, also one that I trust. It looks beautiful on the skin, it's lightweight, it's thin. If you're looking for more of a matte foundation but you don't want it to be like super matte in the point that you look drying, that you're looking for that natural matte with a little bit of radiance, like more skin-like, I would say this Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. This is gorgeous. I have used quite a bit of these all throughout last year. I will highly recommend you also this one right here, but they don't sell it at Sephora. I know, Sephora, come on, put yourself together, okay? But this one right here gives you a very natural finish. Now this one has more coverage than the other ones that I have suggested. So it does have the natural finish, but with a little bit more coverage. It's not full coverage though. It's more like a true medium coverage. Same thing with the Traceless Foundation Stick, also from Tom Ford. This one right here is the one that I usually take when I go for trips. This is the one that gets into my purse or my travel bag and whatever it is. This is the one. Moving on to the under eye area, guys, you always find this product on the description box all the time. This is by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Magic Away Color Corrector. It does have a salmony tone. She has different shades. I think there are 4 total. The one that I use is 2 medium, and I'm a person that I do have very dark under eye circles, and this really helps me to cancel those out to then go with concealer. And then talking about concealers, so I do have very dark under eye circles. As I mentioned before, I do have fine lines under my under eyes. I do have hollows under my eyes too. And what I'm looking for a concealer is 1 that is lightweight, 2 that in certain cases I don't necessarily need to set it, and 3 obviously that it doesn't crease. So coverage, lightweight, creaseless, etc. So for those, I think the one that takes the cake for me is the one from Pat McGrath. This is a great concealer with full coverage. Now for a more natural type of concealer that still has coverage, and the one that I'm using today, the one from KOSAS. This is gorgeous too. Very lightweight. In fact, you don't even need to set it if you don't want to. It lasts really well. Now if you're more into a humid climate, I will say, well, then you will have to set your makeup. But I used to live in California, and in dry weather, I have to tell you that even during summertime, the Pat McGrath and this KOSAS one, I didn't need to set it at all. And then one that I just tried not too long ago is this Marc Jacobs Extra Shot Concealer Foundation. Now I will not suggest this one to use it as a foundation because it's a little bit on the thicker side, thicker than the one from Pat McGrath, than the one from KOSAS, and also it does have a lot of coverage. So I use it specifically in targeted areas under my eyelids, but it's a really good concealer. Also, all of these 3 concealers, they are long lasting, and that's super important too. Now going into brows. So for brow pencil, the one that I have been loving lately because of its uniqueness is the one from Gucci. This is a powder brow pencil, meaning that it's not going to give you those strobe-like effect on your brows. But if you have enough hair on your brows, it just helps to really fill in those gaps, but it looks more natural because it's not so defined, and you can still define it with a brow setter. And talking about setting your brows, one that is my ride or die is the 24 brow setter from Benefit. And this one right here, I love it because it does have a very thin brush that you can really brush and leave your brows. It lasts for a long time too. It's a really good product. Now going to the new brow setting products, I have 2 that I have truly enjoyed. Anastasia Beverly Hills and her Brow Wiz. This is an amazing product. Now, what's the difference right here? They do pretty much the same thing, but this one right here, you actually need a spoolie on the side, so that way you can grab the gel, spread it, and then apply it. So this one right here is kind of like my go-to because of its simplicity. This one, it freezes your brow, yes, but you need a spoolie. And then my third one will be the one from Patrick Ta. I tried it not too long ago, and I will have to say that this is a beautiful product too. The only thing with this product is that you need to have a mixed medium, so it can be, for example, your MAC Fix Plus or a setting spray, something to wet it, and then you need to spoolie. So for, you know, in easy of use kind of thing, is like this is the easiest to use. This one right here, you know, a second tool, and this one at, you know, 3 products to use the one from Patrick Ta. But overall, the performance of the products, they deliver what they are supposed to do: leave, set, and in place those brow hairs. And now going into setting powders, starting for the under eye area, and this is a product that is specific for the under eye area. At the moment, it comes in 4 different shades, which I'm really happy to report. I have here the shade medium. I also have the shade light. The shade light, when you see it, you're gonna be like, that's white, that's stark. No, it's not gonna leave you any white cast. It's super finely milled, and Pat McGrath just came with the banana shade, which I think that's a really good shade too, that a lot of people look for under the eye area. Again, my preference, I'm completely fine using this Pat McGrath. It's called the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection. I mean, the name is long. It's the eye powder, okay? And I know it's already rubbing off, but I use light and medium. And then another powder that I can use under my eye and leave my skin like a porcelain doll. I mean, guys, if you go and check my best of 2020, you will see these products. I mean, I feel like I'm repeating the cake right here. I'm just adding those products that they have launched this year too, but oh my goodness. Going back to this powder, Gucci and their setting powder. This is a matte powder, but it's not a flat matte. In fact, it gives you a radiance to your skin. So, you know, I feel like our skin is not completely matte. It does have a little bit of luminosity. It comes from our natural oils. So, I mean, sometimes mattifying the face and make it look just flat, to me, is not the ideal. And this one gives me all what I need. I mean, if I need a little bit of mattifying power right there, just a tiny bit, but to leave me my skin looking again like a porcelain doll, this is it. This is it. It will leave you a radiance. It doesn't have any shimmer. It doesn't have any sheen either. It's just magical. To me, top powder for my dry skin. Yes, please. And for my enlarged pores too, because it kind of blurs them out. I mean, like, it's a really good powder. And then talking about a new powder, I mean, the Gucci one is not a new powder. I reviewed it last year, same time, you know, springtime I think it was, but it just came to Sephora, so this is a great opportunity. Also, it is refillable, so that is like spot on, amazing. Another powder. This one right here is by DIOR and the Backstage collection. This is the powder, no powder. So many powders. And this one right here has a radiance to it. It doesn't have shimmer in it, but it does have a sheen, opposite from the one from Gucci. I will use it, I mean, like, you can use it to buff it up all your face, lock in place your foundation, lock in place. I will say perhaps no for the under eye area, but yes for the rest of your face. This is a beautiful powder, very thin, silky in texture, really silky. And from bronzers, I think this is a great opportunity to get amazing products from really good brands. One of them, I will have to say, Gucci and their bronzers. These are gorgeous. I have them here in the shade number 4, and then I have here the shade number 3, also refillable compacts. They are very finely milled, silky. They just warm up your face beautifully. I mean, I don't know, but Gucci is doing amazing. And then another great airbrush finish type of bronzer, the one that I'm using right now, Charlotte Tilbury, and this is her airbrush finish bronzers. I do have them in the shade number 2. This to me is more like for winter time, pretty much when I don't have a bronze. And then this one right here is the one that I use the most, is the shade number 3 tan. Very finely milled, airbrush finish. I mean, completely agree with that. And then going into tone 4, the shade and illuminate intensity 1. This is a highlighter and bronzer in a, I mean, this is a contour, but it can also be used as a bronzer because it doesn't have that grayish cast to the skin, and it comes in different shades. The shade that I use is Intensity 1. It's a really good one, super easy to blend, and I mean, it's just perfection. And talking about Tom Ford, I mean, this one right here, you cannot find it right now at Sephora in this large size. Right now they only sell it in the smaller size, but nonetheless, it's a great bronzer. Here is the shade Terra. If you like more of like a matte finish bronzer, this is an amazing bronzer too. Applies seamlessly, it's beautiful, it's a big jelly formula. The actual shade is not too terracotta tone, it's not too, like for example the Gucci ones, they have a little bit of that reddish undertone to them. This one here is more like a neutral tone. And then a classical, it has to be Guerlain. So Guerlain has come out with new terracotta bronzers in different shades. I use the shade number 4. This one here, a little bit alike to the Gucci one, where they have a little bit of that radiance. Again, there's no shimmer, perhaps a little bit of sheen to them. There's no sparkles, there's no glitter, but they apply so beautifully and they just warm up your face. I mean, perfect for summertime. Terracotta bronzers from Guerlain, they're amazing. I know I already spoke about the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate bronzer contour situation, but I have to tell you that another really good cream bronzer that I really enjoy, that it's available at Sephora, is from Fenty Beauty, is a cream bronzer. I have it here in the shade Honey Glaze. This is a beautiful bronzer. You give me a lovely kind of like sun-kissed look to my face. Super easy to blend, very wearable for those days that I just want to have a very simplistic makeup. And also another brand that just came into Sephora, but they have been on the market, I will say for at least 3 or 4 years, something like that, is Westman Atelier, and their contour stick. This one is in the shade Truffle. This one is the deepest one. The lighter one is a little bit more contour. These are here, at least on my skin tone, I find that it gives me that bronzer kind of look that I find a little bit of warmth in it, yet I have a little bit more of definition. Super easy to use as well. Beautiful product from Westman Atelier. And continuing with blushes and Westman Atelier, they truly have me enamored at their blushes. Honestly, I mean, these are gorgeous. So I have here the shade Minette, and this one is a gorgeous coral tone. Look at that, isn't that so beautiful? I mean, this is just summertime, and I mean the packaging is just so luxurious. And then the other shade that I have here is Pulpette. These two are kind of my favorite shades, like 2 of my favorites. I mean, I have other ones, but these 2 right here are like the ones that if you have light to medium skin tone like mine, you will enjoy them a lot. And then this other product right here from Westman Atelier 2 is said to be kind of like a tinted highlighter, but I use it mostly as a blush highlighter combo. So I put it usually right here and take it up here, and it gives me kind of a little bit of that sun-kissed bronze look. This one is in the shade Peau de Pêche. As you can tell, it's darker on the pan, so for me it's like a blush slash highlighter situation. Gorgeous formulation too. The packaging is so weighty, so beautiful. Now keeping it to the cream blushes, Tower 28, their blushes are gorgeous. They do have pigmentation, but the great thing about their blushes is that they are long lasting. They actually, for being a cream, they don't disappear, you know, too soon. Sometimes certain cream blushes, they go away at about 4-hour mark. This one here, solid, I will say between the 6 and 8 hours, obviously depending on, you know, the weather condition and whatnot, but these ones, they are solid, beautiful products, and they have so many different shades. Here I have the shade Golden Hour, one of my favorite ones. And then if you want some other fun shades too, I will say the ones from Fenty Beauty. These are gorgeous too. These came out last year. One that is very unique to my collection is Fuego Flash. This one right here, Tangerine shade. Don't be afraid about it. I think it's just gorgeous, most during the spring and summertime when I tend to use mostly cream products. Also the shade Petal Popping. This is more like you're very candid, you know, like, I want to be blush. You know, this is that type of shade. Truly beautiful shades from Fenty Beauty. And we cannot leave from here without talking about Patrick Ta, obviously. I mean, I would say any blushes from Patrick Ta, from the first collection to these duos right here, you will not go wrong. His formulation is truly spot on, gorgeous. I mean, Patrick Ta, he's going, you know, slowly on his releases, but they are releases that they are being thought about it in the perspective of a makeup artist. I mean, this is gorgeous. This shade right here is She's So LA, but I mean any of the shades. And the beautiful thing right here, your powder blush and your cream blush, and this formulation is just so amazing that you can first use your powder and then go over top with the cream, which is kind of like, what? No way, it's gonna lift up my foundation. No, it's not gonna lift up anything, and it just revives your skin. It just makes it more juicy, more glowy, more beautiful. I mean, like truly beautiful. And from our darling Charlotte, I mean, any of her powder blushes, they are really good, but a blush that I will say, this is truly a great recommendation right here. This is her Glow Gasm Beauty Light Ones, and this one here is in the shade Pink Gasm, which is gorgeous. She also has Peach Gasm and other ones. These are amazing. I mean, truly easy to blend, and then again, longevity, durability on your face. I mean, really nice. A couple other blushes that I have to always recommend has to do GIORGIO blushes. I think this is a brand that is kind of forgotten. They do have these duo blushes that they are just amazing. The one that I have here is called Cheeky Summer. I do have plenty of them. You will not go wrong with any of them. One of them is usually on the matte side, but it's not your typical matte. It does have a radiance to it, and then the other one is just a little bit more glowy, but it's not yet a highlighter. It's something that you can use under this one or on top, and it just gives that beautiful luminosity. I think GIORGIO, they are really underrated. They truly last a long time. They are just stunning. Another stunning blushes are the ones from Hourglass. They do have these combinations of radiance, and you can build them up. They are forgiving also if you have large pores, and they have so many different shades. They have small size and travel size. They just have so many different shades. I truly think Hourglass, they mastered the blush game for sure. Now going into the Glow, the Hollywood Beauty Light one by Charlotte Tilbury. This is kind of like that spotlight that just looks so gorgeous, so beautiful. One of the most beautiful highlighters in cream form that actually complements many skin tones. And something that I forgot to mention is the Hollywood Flawless Filter. This one right here, you can use it as a highlighter or also under your makeup, or also simply just in a few spots here and there, and just blend it in and out you go. I mean, it does give you that beautiful filter effect. I'm using it under my makeup right now. Truly a beautiful product, and they have expanded shade range, so they have a ton. Okay, and another cream product by Westman Atelier. This one right here is a new shade for them. It's the shade Nectar. This right here is also a beautiful highlighter. This one is more subtle, but still present. I mean, it's that little glow from within, a little bit of that, you know, kind of like glass skin, like very sophisticated and beautiful. I mean, it truly looks lovely. And then if we go to the powder blushes, if you are a makeup artist or you're starting to become a makeup artist, I mean, if you're a makeup artist, you don't need to be here, right? You don't need recommendations, you know what you're doing. But anyhow, if you really want a really good highlighter palette, the Nessa Myrix, which I'm so happy that now they are sold at Sephora. So this one right here is the Light Work, is the one that I'm using today too. I'm using this shade right here called Smooth Sailing. This right here is kind of like a pink champagne. I have it right there. I mean, it's beautiful. It just gives, I mean, that's what the Nessa knows how to do best, I think. I mean, like, she does amazing makeup, but the glow on the skin, that's her master. I'm like, she's a master on that. And then for a true glow from within highlighter, the one from Charlotte Tilbury, this is her Hollywood Superstar Glow Highlighter. This one right here, when I saw it first, I always have to mention it. I was like, oh no, this is gonna be powdery, it's gonna emphasize my texture, not because it's shiny, but because of the texture of it. but it actually just, it's beautiful. I mean, it looks like I don't have highlighter, that actually I just have a glow whenever the sun hits, but it's not like, it's, you know, like a stripe of highlighter. Is truly stunning. And then another amazing highlighter, this time from Natasha Denona, is I Need a Nude Glow. Oh my goodness, this also went into my best of 2020. This one here is a little bit more beaming, a little bit more like, I'm here, but it's that gorgeous champagne tone that is just very hard to find, to have it done the right way, and this is done the right way. Doesn't emphasize texture. I mean, like highlighters, they show more your texture, but there's some of them that are really like, oh my gosh, I can see everything. These ones kind of like mask a little bit of texture, yet giving you that glow, and I think that's the beauty of the highlighters that I'm recommending right here. And my last highlighter right here that I don't hear many people talking about it is by Tom Ford. This is Reflects Gilt. This one has a gorgeous champagne highlighter and then a pinky highlighter right here. I mean, this is truly stunning if you want that beautiful glow. I shouldn't say glow from within, but you know, like just that stunning glow. This will give it to you. Going into the fun part right here, eyeshadows. So for eyeshadows, I think I have brands that they are solid in the sense that they always deliver in a certain way that, you know, like I know that anytime that I buy their products, for the most part, I mean 99%, I'm gonna be happy with my purchase. So let's start first with Charlotte Tilbury. So from Charlotte Tilbury, any of her quads are great. They have really good formulation, and the time of the sale is a really good time to get them at discount price. But also this palette right here, this is the one in Pillow Talk, and on this palette you will find some neutral tones, some peachy tones, and then some pinky tones right here. I think it's a lovely palette. Sorry if I'm blinding you, but I think it's just a truly authentic palette that is kind of like, you know, like for everyday, easy to use. I mean, truly stunning. And going into her quads, I will highly suggest, if it's still available, Star Aura. This is from her new line of Hollywood Flawless Eye Filter. This one right here, there's no matte shades, but it's just really stunning. If you like that kind of like cool tone with a little bit of pink in it, I mean, it doesn't look in the pan, but it does have such beautiful dimension. Again, I have reviews for each of these products, so I mean, I welcome you to go ahead and check them out, because it will give true justice if you're really eyeing on something right here. Exaggerize perhaps is one of my favorite, if not my favorite palette from Charlotte Tilbury. This one right here, it will give you that very sensual look. I mean, it's truly unique. This shade right here, you just have those, it's a celestial shade that it just gives those sparkles to your eyelids. Yet I do have a lot of faults on my eyelids. Like I said, I'm in that mature, you know, category right here. I'm more wiser, and therefore I do wise purchases, and therefore I'm recommending you something that it will not emphasize those fine lines on your eyelids or anywhere on your face. Okay, going right here with Tom Ford. So for Tom Ford, I will say pretty much any quad. They are, for the most part, again, like 90%, 95% of the time, all Tom Ford quads. It's just a preference. One of my favorite ones, the one that I'm using today, is Suspicion. This one right here is more of that goldeny tone, more summer-like. If you want something more spring-like, I will say Pretty Baby. This is gorgeous. This is more of like a cool tone with purple tones. I mean, truly stunning. Then, I mean, a classical one, if you like cool tone looks, Nude Deep. This is gorgeous too. And one that came out last year, and perhaps is for me very alike to the one from Charlotte Tilbury, Star Aura, in the sense of it gives me that very feminine, still sensual look because it's cool tone, is the one from that Soleil Neige collection. This is First Frost. I mean, truly gorgeous. Now these right here, they don't have, exception for Pretty Baby, it does have a matte shade, but these ones right here are also those that they have a satin finish, so it makes it really easy to blend. And then a new one that I have been in love with is Insolent Rose. This is one of Tom Ford's newest palettes. This is gorgeous if you are a person that likes pink, but you don't like that, you know, like pink that makes your eyes look sick, you know, that you like a sophisticated pink, this will give it to you. It's truly a gorgeous palette. And then we have Dior, and Dior has reformulated their queens, and I will have to say, unfortunately, Sephora doesn't have all of them because there are so many of them, but from the ones that they have, I will have to say 100% Tutu, my favorite one. Yes, this one right here, cool tone. It has a little bit of that purple eggplant undertone, and then if you like cooler tones, soft cashmere. Go for it. Just go for it. Blinded. You don't need to think about it. Just go for it. You will not regret it one bit. Look at this shade right here. Look at that taupey shade. Is just stunning. And I'm not gonna be swatching every single palette right here because we will take, I mean, if this video is already long, imagine if I it would be just crazy. It would be just crazy. Okay, and now moving on to Natasha Denona. Again, with Natasha Denona, pretty much whatever you pick, from the Viva palette, the gold palette. I mean, she has so many. Her palettes are really good. The ones that they stand out for me, and I will say, don't miss it out, the Glam palette, perhaps one of her best palettes yet. For those that we like neutral tones, you know, this is just so pretty. I mean, this gives you so many different looks, beautiful looks, playing a lot with those cool tones. Now, if you want something more neutral tones, warm tones, and you're like, okay, the Viva palette, give it to me, but I want something more, don't miss out on the Metropolis palette. This right here has, again, her amazing formulation, and you have some neutral tones right here, some coppery tones, your gold tones, and then you have a splash of greens, a splash of blues, and like reds. You have a splash of everything, and I think this is, I mean, I wish it could have come out with more of this size right here and this size right here. I think these two versions are the ones that she needs to stick on. And then if you want to dive into color and you like purples, pinks, I will say the Love palette is an amazing, great palette to go with. This is something that I truly love. But then if you want to be more adventurous, I will say I was happily surprised on how I was able to create so many wearable looks using the Circo Loco palette. This is her newest palette. I'm just in love with this palette. I have been using it quite a bit, and although you feel like this is just like, boom, a splash of color, this is just too much, it's not too much. You can do monochromatic looks. I mean, like, if you have been really eyeing it and you're like, I want to really dive into colors and use, even if it's just one spotlight shade, but obviously you don't want to spend, you know, the full-on price, then this is a good time to get it during the Sephora sale. And now going into another fantastic brand is Pat McGrath. Now for Pat McGrath, I will have to say she does have many sales throughout the year. In fact, right now she's having her spring sale, so it's 25% off if you spend, I think, $100, and then if you spend $150 or more, then it's 30% off. I will be leaving it on the description box below too. That's something that also, if you are like, you know, I can look to another brands and see, you know, if they have sales right now, I mean, go ahead, do so. But if you're planning to shop at Sephora for Pat McGrath, I will have to say this one here is one of her new quads from her latest Divine Rose collection. It's called Eternal Eden. This is, again, not your typical pink. I mean, it has that cool tone, beauty to it. You can just achieve one look right here, a look with these three, another look right here. I mean, with all four, and you can get really amazing looks with this. And then during the Sephora VIB sale, I think it's a great time to get the big mama palette. These right here, any of them will do. I have all of them. I love all of them. You know, guys, my favorite one is Divine Rose number 1 because it just has those mauve tones, pinky tones that I truly love. Also, Divine Rose number 2 is beautiful. I mean, any of them, they have such beautiful blendability. They do have those special shades that they just make your eye pop and make of your look even just more glamorous. They are easy to work with. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And during this sale, I hope that you do not overlook on VCR palettes. Any of their palettes, they are artist palettes for makeup artists. I mean, like they are not only beautiful, but the formulation, the matte formula, the satins, the shimmers, they are just meant to be so easy to use. So here I have one of my favorite ones, which is Spritz. This one right here, I mean, another one that is perfect for this spring, summertime that is coming. Truly lovely. And again, they do have plenty of these VCR palettes at Sephora's website. You will not go wrong. Talking about the eyes mascaras, I will have to suggest two mascaras. The one that I'm wearing right now is the NARS Climax mascara. This gives you volume, length, separation. It makes your lashes look like if you have falsies, even though you don't have any. So truly a perfect mascara. And then if you want an everyday mascara, something that just gives a little bit of length, a little bit of separation, and that it will just fan out a little bit your lashes, making them look a little bit more flirty, you know, like with a little bit of like then go for the Gucci mascara. This is a really good mascara. I love the one right here too. Look at that. Yeah, it's a beautiful formulation too, and to me neither of them they transfer or flake on my eyelids. The one for NARS, because it's just not thick, but it just gives more impact on your eyes, it's harder to remove. Not impossible, but harder to remove. Obviously the Gucci mascara is more like for your everyday. And then for eyeliner, I will have to say don't miss out on this Tone 4 eye defining pen. So this one has two sides, so you can tell, one that is smaller, one that the felt tip is a little bit longer, but this one right here is just the most precise type of eyeliner that I have ever used. And the best part of it is that it lasts you forever. I mean, like, it can last you over a year. That's how good it is. So on this one right here, although it may seem pricey, at the long run it's better than buying so many other liners. This one right here will last you a long time, and it will give you precision. And because of those two sides of felt tips, like for me that I have, you know, like a lot of folds on my eyes, sometimes it gets hard, you know, to try to make a line, because even if you press your eye, you know, like, or like pull your skin, then when your skin goes down, you know, it just that it looks kind of wonky. This one right here gives you actually precision. So this is a great product from Tone 4. And now if you don't want a liquid eyeliner and you prefer something like a pencil, I will say the Marc Jacobs, these are called the gel liners or highliner gel eyeliners. These ones are here. They are so good. I have them in different shades. My most used shades is Raw Cocoa. I think right now they are on sale. I don't know if they are going to discontinue them, but I will feel so sad because these last a good time also on my waterline. Another liner that is really easy to use, is creamy, and I mean you can maneuver it really well, is the one from Pat McGrath. These are great eyeliners. This is called her Permagel Ultra Glide Eye Pencil. Oh, this is so good, and I have it right here in the shade Black Coffee. I love it because it's not, I mean, like, it's black, but it has a little bit of brown in it. It just makes it extra easy to define my eyeline. And then another one, don't miss out, these are the Charlotte Tilbury. These are the dual ended ones, have a matte shade and then a shimmer shade on the other side. Long lasting. My favorite shade, I have to say, is Mesmerizing Maroon. Truly beautiful product too from Charlotte Tilbury. Okay friends, now going to my favorite part, lips. You know, I'm a lipstick lover, my friends, so let's start with lip liners. If you have been wondering, the Gucci lip liners, are they good? I'm using it right now. They are really good, and they come in different shades. Not that many, they're just 5 or 6 right now. I have the shade 01, the shade 02, and I'm planning to purchase at least 2 more. And then another great formulation that are long lasting too are the ones from Charlotte Tilbury. They are really good. I have here the shade Pillow Talk 2 medium and then Iconic Nude. These are a must have on my collection. And then from Pat McGrath, my favorite one is Contour, but I have several ones. They are really long lasting, beautiful formula as well. Okay, and now lipsticks. For me, lipsticks, they have to hug my lips. They do have to have plenty of pigmentation. They have to be nourishing. They do not have to emphasize my lines on my lips. So for me, lipsticks are something that I'm very, very particular with. I will have to say you will not go wrong with any of Tom Ford lipsticks. I mean, I have a ton of shades. One of my most used shades is Casablanca. This is a pinky, more muted shade. Now, if you want a little bit more of a vibrant shade, I will say go with Indian Rose. This is in limited edition packaging, but this comes in the regular packaging too. Beautiful shade. This is not as deep as Casablanca. And then another shade that I really love for when I use like very deep or like cool tone eyeshadow looks is Pink Dusk. This one right here is gorgeous too. This one is more like that nudie tone with a little bit of pink in it. Gorgeous. And guys, I have an extensive collection of Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. I love both of her formulas. My preference goes to the Kissing formula. I have grabbed here a few that I really truly enjoy. Stone Rose right here. This is more of like a, it doesn't seem like, but it's more of like a peachy tone with a little bit of terracotta in it. Now for my smoky eye looks, or just to put in the middle of the lips, or just like, I love, for example, Hepburn Honey. It's more of like a cool tone beige tone, truly beautiful. And then another one that I use quite a bit too is Penelope Pink. That really doesn't have much of pink in it. I don't know why she calls it Penelope Pink. I think it's still a little bit more on that beigey tone, but truly beautiful. I mean, like from Charlotte Tilbury, Classic, Pillow Talk. I mean, there are so many. Very Victoria, for example. They're just, you will not go wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. With Charlotte Tilbury, you will not go wrong. And then Gucci. My favorite shade of mine from Gucci, I mean, aside of the beautiful packaging from Gucci, I mean, Gucci is just killing it. Blaze of Noon. This is a beautiful pinky tone too. Look at that. Oh, just gotta love it. Gotta love it. I think, I mean, they have matte shades, they have satin shades, they have various ones, and all of them are truly beautiful. My favorite one so far is Blaze of Noon. And then if you want something that is kind of like mask proof, I say kind of because it will wear off, but in a way that is not, I mean, if you're wearing a mask, is that type of lipstick that you're not gonna find it everywhere and then you look like a clown. It's like, oh my goodness, what happened with my lipstick? But these ones are long lasting. They are matte formulation, but they are not drying. Even though they are liquid ones, I find them to be super comfortable. These are another type of lipsticks that I use a lot, again, when I go for my long days of work. You know, when I'm on a Saturday, I mean, I know last year was completely canceled, you know, 2020, but prior to that, I had to work long hours, you know, and I needed something that lasts for a long time and that they were non-drying. Fenty Beauty. Fenty Beauty, these are the Stunner lips. These are the two shades that I truly like. I love this shade Uncuffed because it's that pinky nude mauvey tone. Not, I mean, it's a little bit deeper than what you see right here. And then I really love also Unbutton. This is a really good shade if you like nudes with a really nice liner. I mean, perfect. And then for lip glosses, I mean, Fenty Beauty, not only Fenty Glow, I mean, I know there's her staple ones, but this one in particular, Sweet Mouth, is the one that I have it right now. It just, it's that milky tone, but it has a little bit of pink in it that just makes it extra special. I really, really love this shade. And also the Hourglass lip glosses. These right here, truly unique formula, beautiful. They give a beautiful juicy finish to, you know, your lips. The shades that I love right here are Solar and Sublime. So Solar is the one that is more coral tone, and Sublime is that pinky nudie tone. And then my last lip glosses, Tom Ford. I think they have been forgotten. I don't know why. These are just such good glosses, and they come in a variety of shades. Packaging is killer too. I have here the shades Inhibition and the shade Tantalize. Gorgeous shades. I mean, you can see right here kind of my trend. You know, I always have a nudie one and also a coral one. I always have, you know, like, and I also have my pink ones, but I mean, yeah. And then for lip oils, I also have two. Bobbi Brown, this is the Crash Oil Infused Gloss. These will make your lips feel so nourished. They are just so beautiful. They come in different shades. They are so comfortable. They are non-runny. They stay where they are put, and they just really hydrate the lips. And then another new discovery, the one from Merit Beauty. This is a new brand, clean brand at Sephora too. And I will say this lip oil, it's, yeah, along the lines of Bobbi Brown, that nourishment on your lips. And the one that I have right here is Marrakesh. I think they come 5 different shades. Gorgeous. Okay, and now into finishing powder right here, something that I always recommend, Guerlain Meteorites. Listen, after you set your makeup, always go and buff your face with a finishing powder that gives a radiance to your skin, a certain kind of glow, a certain type of dimension to your skin. You don't have to take it here in the middle. It's just the sides, so that way the bronzer, the blush, the highlighter come together all in one, and they don't look like stripes put, you know, one on top of the other. Meteorites will do that for you and more. They are so beautiful. If you don't like the scent, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you, because you will be missing out. The scent, it doesn't linger. It's just right there and then it will go away. If you know that scent is gonna bother you, then go for the one from YSL. This is the Tout Checlat 3D All Over Glow. And this one right here is kind of double purpose. For a person like me or lighter than my skin tone, this will serve you really well as, you know, as a finishing powder. And for someone that has a deeper skin tone, like tan to reach deep skin tones, this will serve you as a highlighter. And don't be afraid. When I say highlighter, don't think that a person like me will have a light bulb as a face. No, it doesn't. It's, again, a finishing powder that the name implies. It's a 3D. It gives dimension to your makeup. I mean, like, it's just amazing. And then to finish it up, lock it all up, one of the best setting sprays, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This one right here, if you want for your makeup to be long-lasting, that it will not transfer, then go for this one. This one right here will lock your makeup for hours. For those who are getting married, brides, mother of the bride, you know, you have somewhere to go to and you have to be long hours, use that one. Now, if you want a soft focus effect, then use the one from Hourglass. This is the Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray. Truly beautiful too. These will just mesh any powders that you have on your face and make it just like look like blur, you know, like a fog, and a fog in the best sense possible. That blur, like I don't know, just like this soft focus effect that is just gorgeous. And then if you want kind of that Facetune kind of finish, if you want something that you can use it as a primer and then, you know, just finish and set everything up and just brings back that life to your face, from DIOR, the Airflash Radiant Mist. This is gorgeous. This is the one that I'm using today. Expensive, but a good one. Worth to get during the sale. Okay, my friends, so I think we made it for this video. I cannot believe it. This was crazy. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you already got everything on your cart, if you're just doing your wish list and kind of like narrowing down what you really need versus what you really want, because that's a big difference right there. And let me know if you have, again, any other questions. If you have tried any of these products, share with me if there's a product that I missed right here that people need to know about it. I would love to carry the conversation on the section down below. I'm very appreciative of your time. I know the video was long, but it was worth it, because these right here are truly products that I tried, that they are stand out in my collection, that I will miss them if they will disappear, that I will repurchase them 100% because of their performance. Thank you once again, my friends. And while you're leaving that comment, I hope that you will give me that opportunity and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. And come and follow me on my Instagram. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, share with family and friends. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.